Wow. That's way quicker than before. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we are finally going to be reviewing the new Toyota Prius. Before we get into this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Toyota here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Prius. I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. This review is going to be on the XLE. I will also be reviewing a limited today as well. That'll be a separate video, so if you're not subscribed, recommend subscribing so you can see that video as soon as I post it. And then as always, on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood, we have a naturally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder paired to an eCVT and a hybrid system. Total system output is 196 horsepower. Fuel economy is 49 around town and then 50 on the highway. This one is the all-wheel drive model. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, first off, I love this like purplish blue color. It's really cool, but you can see distinctive lines there on either side. And then coming down below, the daytime running lights look really sharp. Like, look how much there is. Lots of daytime running light action. And then the headlights as well, I like the look of those. Notice we've got parking sensors here on the front end. And then notice how most of the front end's actually closed off for aerodynamic efficiency. I think that's pretty sweet. And you know what? For a Prius, this thing's pretty good looking. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 195/50/19 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see with the wheel design, you've got the silver there on the top, the metallic gray down below, and I think it's a pretty tricked out looking wheel for a Prius. And notice how the fender flare is actually painted, makes it look a whole lot more premium. You probably also noticed in that shot, we've got the all-wheel drive badge. Notice the mirror caps blacked out. And then notice you just have the one visible door handle there on the side. Definitely makes it look strange. But taking a look at the full side view here, I feel like this looks like a very futuristic car from the side. I mean, transport yourself back 20 years and this is what like we thought cars would look like from the future, and I guess we were kind of right. Now here's our key fob. You guys can see we've got our unlock function, our lock function, Toyota logo, and then it actually says Prius there on the back. Now with the rear hatch, you've got this little popper that you can press and then you can open up the hatch. Now actually popping into the rear, we've got a cargo cover built in from the factory, and let's just watch the snow fall off. That's funny. Anyways, down below you guys can see the floor covering here that says Prius, or rather the cargo covering, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, underneath you can see we've got even more storage as well. When you're all done, just plop. Now we've got this giant light bar here on the back end. Notice it actually has the package here, XLE, and then you've got Prius down below, and then our HEV badge. Parking sensors here at the bottom on top of that, and look at the Toyota logo actually. It's very kind of like hidden in a way. But finishing things up with the exterior, I think that Toyota did a really good job with the new Prius. I mean, this is a Prius that I would say actually looks good. Now taking a look at the door panel here in the rear, you guys can see pretty basic material use down here, but look at the padding there, that's very nice. And then we got our window control here. I like that trim, that looks really nice as well. And then here are the seats. Notice that they're perforated all down the center portion. Legroom here in the back of the Prius is actually really good. We've got a little storage pocket right there. We have some USBs here at the bottom as well. And then headroom back here is actually pretty good. Now some random things. First off, we of course have a cup holder armrest. And then secondly, we have our own sunroof back here. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see we've got the same padding here where you're going to rest your arm. All of our window controls, mirror adjustments, and then the mirrors do have blind spot monitoring. And then here's the front seat. Notice perforated all down the center, and then I like that little insert right there. But yeah, the seats look really nice with the bolstering. We also have the power adjustments on the side. Lots of Prius logos in here, I've noticed. And then notice we got like our gas cap release right here. We've got this for like the heated steering wheel, for example. And then the steering wheel itself is manually adjustable. So starting with the steering wheel itself, definitely kind of funky looking, but that's a normal Prius thing. Really nice padding all around. This comes with stuff like your steering assist, also has regular lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control. You got like your voice command, volume controls, phone controls as well. So I feel like everything's just pretty straightforward with the steering wheel, but we also do have a turn signal light stock and then a windshield wiper stock. Now I've got this digital gauge cluster here, pretty interesting with the overall setup, but just like other Toyotas, we've got this little thing where you can basically scroll through a bunch of different menus, see different bits of info on the vehicle, systems within the vehicle. The most important thing obviously is going to be your fuel economy, and then notice it lets us know that we're currently in EV mode right now. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera here with trajectory lines. It looks like they don't turn with the steering wheel, but resolution is pretty solid. Now, as for the rest of the infotainment system, notice we have a little volume control there off to the side, but this is just Toyota's newer unit they have in all of their cars. It has a shortcut bar here on the side, and the most important thing with the hybrids is just, you can see like the energy flow, so you can see exactly what's happening with it, and then obviously, you know, trip information, so you can see how economical you're being. That's cool, you can also do the climate from the screen. But anyways, easy to use. So I do like the whole dash layout, and again, you guys can see that the gauge cluster, kind of an interesting placing. But yeah, it's interesting how it all looks, and there is nice padding here, and then also like, you guys can see with the lighting, that looks really cool as well. And that leads us right into the climate controls. So single zone climate, we've got heated seats here for the front as well, and then this is what we'll call our charging area. And then this is interesting, you got this little like tab to pull up. Hidden compartment, hashtag hidden compartment. Not so hidden when you have an arrow pointing to it. Anyways, we got some cup holders right there too. And then we've got our transmission selector, which I feel like is pretty similar to the previous version, but obviously it's down here instead of like up there. Drive mode select here, we've got our EV mode, your auto hold, your parking brake, stability control. We'll go over the drive modes in just a second. And then that's interesting for the wireless phone charging pad. I mean, it's cool though. And then you guys can see here with the USBs and all of that. And also, does it have a hashtag? Yes, it does. So what's with the hashtags? It says hashtag wireless charger. And you guys can see the glove box here. Decent storage space with that. Okay, so we're back to the center gauge cluster to go over the drive modes. So you've got your custom, sport, normal, and then eco that you can go between with the different drive modes. And just let you know which one you're in there with the center. You guys can see the mirror here. And then we have another sunroof here up front. And then pretty nice headliner. Now here's our window sticker for this Prius. Again, this is an XLE, base MSRP $32,295. After all options, this one stickers for $35,699. And let's sum things up. Let's see how this goes. Cool. Safety first. We gotta get the seatbelt on. And let's talk about visibility here in the Prius. First off, here's your visibility over the hood. Both mirrors do have blind spot monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear. So I'm going to mention is I feel like I can't get the steering wheel perfect with this gauge cluster. I either feel like it's blocking it, or if I have it all the way down, it's like still like the very bottom, but I can see it better. It's just yeah, a weird setup. So we will get a little acceleration test, I'll put that in quotes, in this video. It's interesting in the full EV mode how it makes the sound. But what I do want to say is Toyota will most likely be sending out one of these as a demo car sometime this year, and so I'll obviously have a more in-depth review when that comes out. This is just kind of like our first look with an XLE, and we're just taking it back to its parking space. But what I do want to say is it seems like more seamless than the previous generation with the hybrid setup. It seems like Toyota's definitely improved upon how everything syncs up. Suspension feels really comfortable. I know I'm not going very fast, but like I went through like the little dip and everything, and it seems like they've done a good job with making it so this, yeah, it feels more comfortable than the previous version too. I had one for a week. Now I can't talk on like, you know, higher speed driving insulation, but what I can tell you is it's kind of a windy day today, and it seems like it's pretty quiet actually. So it seems like overall insulation is pretty good. But, you know, I'll find that out later when I test one. We're gonna pop into the sport mode, or should we say hashtag sport mode? I don't know how it works. Let me know if you own a Prius. Let me know if you have to say hashtag sport mode. But we'll get just a little acceleration right here down our secret, super secret racetrack. Wow. That's way quicker than before. Holy guacamole. Now it'll be interesting to see how this does on the interstate and everything with acceleration, but like this thing punches way harder than before. But it makes sense going from like 121 horsepower with that 1.8 liter to bigger engine, right? 2 liter with almost 200 horsepower. So yeah, I'm excited to get more testing done with this Prius. But what I will say is so far, I think they've done a really good job with the styling. I think they're doing a really good job with this interior as well. Again, this is an XLE, so it's not the loaded up one. I'll be doing a video on that loaded up one soon. It's limited. Other than that, like, and it seems quick. Like, it seems like at least the, what, 0 to like 30 something, whatever. That was quick, honestly. So I'm excited about this new Prius. I think Toyota did a good job.